2, 1, blah. All right.
The blah.
And I've got everything rolling, so I will mute.
Okay. Well, no, not. Well, let me wrap at you real quick before we do that.
Yeah.
So I got a text from Zach privately. I think he's under a little bit of stress, and so he's doing that thing where he's stepping away again.
Okay.
And so I still want to do a vidcast because I had planned to do a vidcast like prepared. So I texted a buddy of mine, and we're going to have a special guest on the vidcast.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna be Zach's kind of replacement for the next like month or two, and yeah, he'll be here. He'll be on in just a sec.
Being more sober kind of sucks, and so I have to like find other like stimulants.
What a fucking world, man!
What the fuck is that?
That's this is DJ. This is Zach's replacement. He's gonna be coming in for a while to kind of cover for Zach while he's gone. So
I think I picked the wrong time to stop drinking as much.
No, I mean, he's a man of few words, but he's a good dude. I mean, I don't know, what do you want?
What is this happy horse shit?
I can't tell if I'm being fucking punked.
Is that the fucking bear from IKEA?
But I feel like I'm being punked.
Yeah. Well, you were supposed to not be here, Zach. This is your replacement while you're gone.
Oh, well, that's definitely an improvement.
I mean, fair, but...
Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me today, and I'm glad you did because I've got something pretty great for you, and that is another episode of the Versus Vidcast. And of course, I've got my friends Zach and Cole.
Hello, hello.
Oh.
Along with our special guest, Djungelskog. Say hello, Djungelskog.
This is going to go really well in the audio version.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's something that we could talk about. So I basically, I've converted all of the vidcasts into podcast form. They have been completely unmodified. So, you get the jokes, but there are some visual things that you don't get. And that is something that they're not going to get is Djungelskog.
Get off the podcast feed and come to YouTube, you fucking peasant.
I was going to say, at that point, you might as well just hop over and watch the video version.
Yeah.
Might as well. But yeah, so I wanted to start this episode by addressing the elephant in the room.
It's a bear, actually.
Damn it,
Cole. You want to know the funny thing is I've been planning to start this episode with
Cole. I just had a fucking twin brain moment.
I'm going to be honest with you. I anticipated one or both of you saying it because I was just like, I'm going to say elephant in the room, and one of them is going to say it's a bear. It was a triplet brain moment.
I mean, it was a softball down the middle. You had to expect someone to nail it out of the park. But
while I appreciate you clinging onto that joke as I expected, what I really wanted to discuss is the real elephant in the room, which is, can we talk about how Cole is now a rock climbing dickhead?
Cole has definitely turned into that fucking guy. Good Lord.
Making a fucking lifestyle change, and this motherfucker's posting on Facebook again. Like, what?
I'm not actually. Like, it is posting to Facebook, but it's just my Instagram because I do not get on Facebook at all. So like my Facebook is like linked to my Instagram, and so I just post there, and then it just shoots over.
Dude, you have one of the little fucking belts with this, like the chalk pouch now.
Yeah, I do. It's like right over there. I literally used it like not 2 hours ago.
Gotta get my climb on, bro.
Dude, it's
hey, Chad and Thad, I'm glad to see you back for your Saturday bike ride. How about we go climb the wall? Maybe hit that overhang I can't get over. That sounds awesome, Cole.
It is legitimately like one of the funnest hobbies I've gotten into. I'm not gonna lie.
You were like one step better than CrossFitters. Like, that's where you're at right now. You're on thin fucking ice, bud.
I promise. I promise. I will not.
Razor's edge.
I will not enter the limb zone.
Oh my god.
Partially because I can't do any of that bullshit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Did I ever tell you about the time, speaking of Isaac Lim, the time when he sent me a text message and he goes, hey, this is after him and Alessio came to visit me in Seattle that one time a couple years ago. And he sends me a text message because, you know, the whoa, that thing, like that trend.
Yeah.
We were doing that a bunch for no reason while they were there. And Isaac texts me, he goes, hey, what was that thing that we were doing in Seattle? What was it called? The Whoa? And I was like, yeah. And he sends me a video of him in his rock climbing gym. That this is pre-COVID and it's full of people. And he like sets his phone down and he walks like however many like feet away from the phone. And then he just goes. And he walks up, collects his phone, and turns the video.
I have no fucking idea what this trend is that you guys are talking about.
It's like one of those moves.
It's hitting the low, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those like trend like kids the Zoomers do the dance move.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, but it was just,
I didn't know he climbed, but that explains why all of a sudden like the past 3 posts I've had on Instagram, I was like IWM. Likes your post, like, hey Isaac.
You are closer to Isaac than ever before. Isaac is like not even low key. Isaac is like high key one of the funniest people I know because he's so quiet and unassuming.
Well, that's how his comedy works because he's so quiet and unassuming.
Yeah.
And then he just hits you with just a fucking dinger, and you're like, "What did you just say?"
And he'll incapacitate you. It's just so fucking. I love Isaac so much, and I hope he sees this. I love you, Isaac.
You need to get on here.
I need to pull Isaac on a video sometime.
Yeah,
it'd be fun.
I mean, it'd be slightly more animated than the bear.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit. How dare you, DJ? What do you have to say for yourself in defense?
All right, makes sense.
Oh, this is one of my favorite sight gags yet. I wanted to ask you guys because I'm asking this question because I just like discovered this fact and I really want a device to propel it into the conversation. But what is the craziest fact that like like that if you said this was a fact, people would be like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
Lobsters have biological immortality.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Which is wild.
Yeah, the only reason they aren't immortal is because they literally can't get enough calories to intake to sustain themselves.
That there is a place in the Pacific Ocean where you are literally, I think it's like you are closer to space than you are to any kind of civilization.
What?
There's apparently a spot in the middle of the Pacific where, like, if you get out there, that you are literally closer to like the end of our atmosphere.
The atmosphere, yeah.
Than you are to like any person on Earth.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
Even with all like the little island chains and all that all throughout. Wow.
Yes, and I forget what it's called, but I for some like immediately my head was like, "Oh, you're close to the moon." I'm like, "No, dumbass, that's not humanly possible." But then I was like, "Oh no, it's not the moon; it's just space."
I think I also saw just space related too. I saw a thing where it said like if you were to drive your car at 60 miles an hour, it would take you like it would take you like 8 months to get to the moon.
That's pretty mental, actually.
Yeah, not sure if that's an actual fact or not. I read that at some point in recent times. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool.
No, they can't put anything on the internet.
Boys Trip 3.0 to the moon.
To the moon!
Who's ready for an 8-month road trip?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm down. Fuck it. So here's mine. The reason why I asked that question, and I found this out the other day. So did you guys know that scientists to this day still have no idea how eels reproduce?
I saw that.
Really?
Saw that. And then I saw Hank Green dispute it.
Did he dispute it?
Yes.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Well, it's not that we don't know how eels like reproduce. It's something like we know basically where they reproduce.
Well, yeah.
And it's like they go through like different stages of life.
Yeah. So basically, like they've dissected eels and they've like looked in and they've never found any like reproductive organs inside of an eel.
Really?
And yeah, and they've never observed them reproducing in captivity or in the wild. And so what they've discovered is that eels, freshwater eels, will swim to the saltwater Bermuda Triangle, and then more eels will just come back. Yeah. They'll just be there, and they'll come back with more eels.
Yeah.
And it's also one of the only sea life species that can survive in fresh and salt water.
Yeah,
and just bounce back and forth.
It's called brackish. Bull sharks can do that too.
Yeah.
Which is why
that's terrifying.
Well, and that's why you'll hear stories of people who like live in the Mississippi, along the Mississippi River and all that, where after like a bad storm or whatever, they'll see bull sharks fucking swimming up the Mississippi.
No.
Fuck no.
Just another reason not to live in Mississippi.
And to stay the fuck out of open water.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I'm trying to think of other like kind of like out there facts that I know. Like they'll just come to me at some point. Hemingway back during World War II used to take his boat out into the Atlantic with a box full of hand grenades and toss them in the water as depth charges for German U-boats.
Hemingway was a fucking badass.
He was a bastard, but he was also like a badass for that.
So this is another one of my favorite ones, is that this was actually, so you know how I do those Snapple videos and I do the Snapple facts? This is one of the Snapple facts and I looked it up.
Snapple still needs to sponsor us.
They really do. So there was a fact on there about a man who won a war using juggling. And there's this was back in like the mid 500 BCs. Like that's how far back it was.
Could the enemy not fucking fathom what he was doing?
Basically, so this guy, his name was Zhang Lao, and he practiced juggling, and there was a war between the Chu armies and the Song armies. And what Zhang Lao did is he stepped in between the I'm reading it right now. He stepped in between the armies and juggled 9 balls, and they were so amazed that 500 men turned around and ran away because they were so mystified by this dude juggling 9 balls.
That's what I want to see. I don't want to see fucking during like the Napoleonic era, countries who had never seen elephants, with the war elephants turning tail and running. I want to see, they're running, and then this guy comes out just da, 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 da. They're like, holy fuck!
Do we have that dude from Portland that rides around on a unicycle with the bagpipes? Send him out. Speaking of war and facts, I remember this one. One of the longest ongoing wars that is also the most bloodless, I believe, has been between Canada and a Scandinavian country.
Is that the one with the island?
Yes. It's either Norway or Sweden, and they both, or Greenland, I'm not sure.
I think it's Greenland. Greenland sounds right.
They both claim, like, territory of this one island, and the navies of both countries will sail out, lower the other country's flag, and then if it's like people from Greenland, they'll leave like a bottle of schnapps at the flagpole and then sail away. And if the Canadians come up, they'll do the same thing and then leave a bottle of whiskey. And it has been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, I read about that years ago.
The most polite war in history.
My most wholesome just fact with warfare is the 1914 Christmas ceasefire?
Yes, World War I.
Yeah. I always thought that was a really cool thing.
Let me fact check if that was actually 1914. Hold on.
Yeah, which is wild to think because it's like, I don't know, humans, humanity.
Yes. Okay. It was Christmas 1914. I'm not a complete idiot.
Complete.
I always gotta fact check myself if I'm less than 95% sure.
96%. I'm going full send.
The other interesting war fact that I have is there was a guy, I forget what his name was. There's some very interesting books about him. It was a Japanese soldier who was like basically the last guy on this little island in the Pacific. Who continued fighting World War II all the way into the 70s.
Yeah.
Because he never received orders to stop fighting. And basically, so he was out there like anytime anyone would come across, he'd attack them or try to take them hostage or whatever. And so they eventually had to like track down his old commanding general, and this is like in the 70s at this point, or commanding officer, I should say.
Yeah.
And bring him out to this fucking boat and be like, dude, the war's over. Like, come home.
Just stop.
Yeah, I think for like 35 years after World War II ended, because he never got the order.
Yeah.
So he just, after fucking the Pacific Theater ended, because 2 different dates.
Yeah.
That's a duty-bound individual, let's say that much.
I found my answer for the person in history that I would most like to drink with.
Sure.
Which was Peter the Great of Russia. And
why, for the litany of reasons, would it be him?
Can you pick just one? Cool.
Exactly. Can I pick just one?
Yeah, if you had to pick just one, we'll let you get into the litany, but if you could just pick just one reason. Specifically.
The one reason I think I would want to drink with Peter the Great was because one of his favorite things to do was to ride around with like a group of his best friends to the big noble houses in Russia in the countryside, knock on their door at any time of day and or night, and demand that they open their halls to all of them, which would be like 50 dudes or so. And then they would have a giant feast for 3 days, maybe, where they would do nothing but eat, drink, and be merry.
So
that's honestly some fucking Valhalla shit. Like
it is. It is. He brought Russia into like the modern era. He instituted a beard tax because
tax?
Yes, the fashion of the time that he took over in Western Europe was to be either clean shaven or to have like a well sculpted like facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of like the old school like Russian like aristocracy would wear like very long beards, like longer than mine. So if you had like a beard that was over a certain length, he would tax you. So you could have it, but you just weren't in fashion, so he would tax you on it.
This is basically this is fashion, honey.
It was a fashion tax, yes.
Well, so I guess I missed this. I guess I missed this topic, or if you just brought it up. But what would yours be, Sam?
The person in history that I would want to drink with?
Yes.
That's an interesting one.
I didn't know if you guys had discussed this before or not. That's why.
It was just a random fact that I thought I would pull it up.
Because I have mine. I just had to pull it up to get the numbers.
Go ahead and tell yours.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Let me think.
So mine would be George Washington on the night of September 15th. Hold on, I just pulled it up. 1787, 2 days before the Constitution was signed.
Oh God.
Because they held a party of roughly 55 guests. By the end of the night, Washington's party drank 54 bottles of Madeira wine, 60 bottles of Bordeaux wine, 8 bottles of Old Stock whiskey, 22 bottles of porter ale, 8 bottles of hard cider, 12 jugs of beer, and 7 large bowls of punch.
I would love to be at that party.
The bar tab, which included a tab for many broken glasses, and was adjusted for inflation equals about $300 worth of reimbursements. The final bill came out to £89 and 4 shillings, or roughly $17,253 in 2018.
fucking hey, George! What the hell?
God damn, George was a lush.
That's who and when I would want to drink with.
That's amazing.
I had to pull up the article to get the actual numbers because I didn't have those memorized.
I think if I'm going back like way back in history, honestly, this is kind of like a basic bitch answer, but probably Martin Luther King. That would have been fun.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Would have had a drink with him. Okay, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Or you know what?
I was gonna say
Malcolm X.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah, that guy's a character.
Both are good answers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other people that I would share a drink with.
Ian Smith, the Prime Minister of Rhodesia. I gave that answer. So at my old job, every Tuesday we had a team call, and they would take roll by asking us questions. And I near the end, I started giving some off the wall answers. But one of them was, if you could meet someone who has passed away, who would it be? And I said him. No one knew who the fuck I was talking about. That was also the one where they'd be like, "What's your favorite kind of way to prepare potatoes?" And I was like, "Eat it like an apple."
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah, or wasn't there that one time you were telling us about where they asked you like what your favorite hobby is, and you said like grilling, and they asked you like what kind of grilling?
There was that. So there's a couple funny stories from this. The first one ever was back when I still had a boss who was actually like somewhat competent, and she asked me, she goes, if we had like a unit cookout, what would you bring?
Right.
My answer was burgers. Well, for some reason, the mute button on my fucking desk phone wasn't working. So they'd be like, "Can't hear you."
Right.
So I'd be like, "Burgers," and they'd be like, we still can't hear you." But God damn it, I fucking hit it. And now I start hearing people laughing around me because we're just in cubes, And I'm like, "Burgers." They're like, "It's still not coming through." So her, from behind my desk to her like office door was probably to this wall here. So I was just like, "Burgers!" To which everyone starts laughing, and then I had the nickname Burgers for a while. The one you're talking about, Sam, was they were like, "Oh, what's your favorite, thing to cook or whatever?" And everyone's like, "Oh, fucking
meat,
stew." And I was like, "I like to grill." They're like, "What do you like to grill?" I'm like, "Meat." And I just muted myself at that. And then the last one, which was probably my favorite because I also got a lot of laughs out of this one too, was they were like, "What's your favorite, fancy restaurant to go to?" And everyone's, "Oh, Ruth's Chris," or "Oh, this little hole-in-the-wall steakhouse in D.C." Or I go, "The McDonald's on Woodland Park Avenue." Just muted myself.
Oh man! I thought of two more people that I want to hang out with or meet. Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You know what? I'm gonna complete that trifecta for you, Sam.
What's the third?
Steve Irwin.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve Irwin would have been awesome. Trifecta of positivity, those three.
Yeah, for real.
Love that shit.
I feel like I would want to get classy drunk with Alex Trebek. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Ooh, yeah.
Me and Alex Trebek, I'm talking black tie. We're in a rooftop bar. It's I don't know what city. It wouldn't be New York, like a Chicago, rooftop bar in Chicago with Alex Trebek.
My classy one would be rooftop bar, black tie in New York with the Rat Pack.
I don't know if I would. I feel like me and Sinatra would not get along. I feel like we would both be too much of a dick for each other to handle.
I'm also an Italian from New York. I would fit right in. So.
It would be true. It would be me hanging out with Sammy Davis and being like, "You're gonna let them talk? No, fuck that asshole." Fuck you, Blue Eyes. You think you're special?
Oh, hang on one second.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I need to grab something.
Alright. $5 as he grabs the bear. Damn it.
Oh shit, he can still hear us. You think I was about to start talking shit.
You want to?
You can talk shit.
Oh.
You can talk shit. You talk shit. You talk shit in front of my face all the time. You don't need to wait until I'm gone to talk shit.
Oh yeah, that's why I do it the proper way.
Yeah. So I was on a trip. I went to Louisville. Louisville, Kentucky is where I went. And I had a very good time. I went to go see my friend Tyler, who I'm going to be his best man. There's videos about that. Go watch them. But I had some time on the airplane, and I finished this little number here. Which it's been a long time coming for me to finish. This is also the Amazon copy that I ordered that just got here yesterday. So that was cool.
I appreciate the support, buddy.
Yes, sir. I really fucking like this book.
I was like, go heal, please.
No, this is trash. No. So I left a review on Zach's page about the book because I didn't want to review it until I actually finished reading it because that's dishonest. So I finally finished reading it. I don't really read like military thrillers, like they're not my jam typically. But I knew I wanted to read Zach's book because, like, of course it's Zach's book. I want to support Zach. Yeah. I like it.
Gotta say. Yo.
It was very exciting. It's a very exciting book. Like I was saying, like the way the downtime and like the peaks and valleys in the book goes are very well paced. I think the action is very, very exciting. There were like a lot of times where I'd be like reading it and I'd be like scramble to turn the page. And then there were other times where I would read a thing. Some of there's some action towards the end of the book. I won't get into for spoilers' sake, but I was reading. I was like shit, and I would put the bookmark in and close it, and then put it down. And I'd be just staring at the seat in front of me, like the seat back in front of me, and be like, fuck it. So I'm very proud of. I just wanted to. We've been talking about the book, here and there. I've been including the link to the Amazon link for Zach.
Go buy his book.
All the videos that he's been in. So you can check the link in the description for the link to Zach's book on Amazon. This has been a really lengthy journey for Zach. I've been around as he's been doing this and kind of following the stream.
9 years.
9 years almost. Yeah, it's I've been around for most of that journey, and I'm real proud of Zach. I really am. I'm very proud of Zach, and it's nice because if we're being honest. If I'm being honest, if he would have released a book and it would have been actually trash, I would have still been proud of him because he finished a book and published a book.
You did way more than us.
But for him to not only achieve one of his life goals, get a book published, and for it to be fucking good,
yeah,
get out of here. So I just wanted to take one more second to be one more live on air plug of Deception.
Well, I truly appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Sorry.
Yeah, that I won't get too much into it. We'll say that for a writing themed episode one of these days. But yeah, it's that the first draft of Deception started in January of 2012.
Jesus.
As a short story between me and my two buddies, Morgan and Vinny, and originally it was called Operation Get the Fuck Out of Dodge. Mm-hmm. And it was all of maybe 30 pages long in that initial draft.
I'm waiting to see the rest of my family, just because I haven't seen my extended family since the reunion, which you've seen on this channel.
Yep.
But I know that a lot of my family did end up purchasing the book.
Yes, a couple of them just right then and there after I told them about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the support was incredible.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, they love
Really
you. They
cool.
love you guys. So,
And just for the people, don't look at the. There we go. To be continued in wet work. I'll blur out the last page of the fucking book. It's exciting.
I knew a dude who did that. Fucking psycho. He wouldn't read a book if the last page didn't catch his interest.
Really?
Yeah.
that's insane.
That is insane.
Just a fucking bizarre practice.
It really, well, that's the thing is just like a lot of the times, like a lot of books that I've read and good books that I've read, the last page isn't necessarily like the most exciting thing, but it's like a payoff for the journey that you just took reading the rest of the book.
Or like the most recent example I can think of is, and I know I've brought this book up a lot, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. That one ends on a very boring page, unless you've read the whole fucking book, and then you're like, oh,
that makes sense.
That?
Yeah. I speaking of like it's a sci-fi or sci-fi-esque, right?
Oh yeah, that's totally sci-fi, but like sci-fi revolution.
Okay, well I have a recommendation. If we're talking about books and we're talking about sci-fi, I have a recommendation, unless you've already read it, in which case I'm behind the curve, which is more than likely the fact. Have you guys watched The Expanse?
I've seen parts of it, and I need to read the book. So my buddy Davis, who's the one that got me into Red Rising, has also told me about The Expanse.
The book.
Also,
which
speaking
is
of
like
your family,
by
St.
them-
Joyce just liked a picture of mine on Instagram.
Oh, that's a sweet woman.
St. Joyce.
Yeah, no. Leviathan Wakes. I just started it like 2 days ago, and it's like really good. It's like all like weird like politics, and there's like a almost like cyberpunk like Blade Runner noir-esque like B story to it. It's like really fucking good.
So two things about that. Like my ideal casting choices would be Wes Cadham as Vinny.
I don't know him.
No idea.
He played. I thought you'd seen The Expanse too.
No. Like my buddy told me to watch it, and then like I saw a video on TikTok that I was like, "What?" They're like, "What's the fucking movie?" And they're like, "It's a show. It's called The Expanse." I was like, "That looks badass."
What's the fucking? I
And
can't
then I
remember
looked
the
it up. I was
character's
like,
name
"Oh, it's
'cause
a
I
book.
haven't
I'll
seen
just
it.
read the fucking book."
And then the other thing what the fuck was the second thing I was gonna say? About like cyberpunk stuff and all that. I'm actually storyboarding out a cyberpunk story right now.
I feel like you had told us something about that. Yeah.
I told you guys about a lot of my projects when I was there.
Yeah. I know who. The West.
Who does he play?
Cadham. He plays.
Amos.
Amos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so I put. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
No, I was gonna move.
So
the
I put it.
conversation
Well, I'll stay on this for one more second.
Let's go.
So I did a thing on Instagram a while back where I put out like who people would want to cast, and I got all of 2 responses. One was from Sam, and another was from one of my brother's friends. And actually, you guys gave some interesting. Well, it was really funny because both of them said Tom Hardy for Vinny, and
it's a good choice.
It absolutely is. Yours, though, your choice of Michael B. Jordan for Alex was very surprising, and actually, like, I was like, damn, like, done right. Yeah, that would work really well.
Yeah, I love Michael B. Jordan as an actor.
Oh, he's a phenomenal actor.
And I'd love to see him in a military thriller that's actually good.
Yeah, because I watched all of the first 5 minutes of Without Remorse, and I was like, this sucks. Because because it's just a generic fucking 21st century military thing. It's, it's so predictable, and then, and just, it didn't match the the source material at all, especially because I'm actually listening to the audiobook of Without Remorse right now, which, God, it's such a fucking good book.
Is it a Clancy or is that?
Yeah.
It is okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. The only Clancy I know is like Hunt for October and then like Rainbow Six.
Yep. Well, speaking of
that, yeah. Who
got you that?
gave you that? That's awesome.
Like, how did you get your hands on that?
My lady friend.
Okay, I figured it.
Okay.
I figured as much.
She has apparently been searching for this for months and finally got it.
That's
it's an autographed hardback of Rainbow Six by Tom Clancy, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was speechless when she showed me.
You shadowboxed that motherfucker.
Oh, absolutely.
There was one, I can't remember who you picked him to be on your Instagram post, but I did want to say, because you picked Taylor Kish to be somebody.
He was Morgan.
Okay. I as somebody who has loved Taylor Kish from like the way back, like Friday Night Lights, like love that dude.
Yeah.
Well, I only know him from
Taylor and more things.
I only know him from a couple of movies, but the two that come to mind are where he played sort of like operators or like espionage, whatever, was Lone Survivor. He played Lieutenant Mike Murphy and American Assassin.
He was also in True Detective season 2.
I have not seen. I've only ever seen the
kind of like suit, not like dirty cop like Colin Farrell, but he was like on the tape.
I was gonna say I've only seen the Colin Farrell clips from season 2.
Which that's honestly all season 2 should have been, was just Colin Farrell being a dirtbag cop.
Yeah, no, my ideal casting choices were Frank Grillo for Alex, Wes Cadham for Vinny, and Taylor Kittish for Morgan. Although I also liked, so my brother's buddy Chris, I liked his choice of for Morgan being what the fuck is his name?
Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, I know. I agree.
No, not Viggo Mortensen. He was a supporting character in Sicario, and he was the main guy in Get Out.
Oh, Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah. And I thought that was which also very funny, because in my mind, and obviously you can tell by my casting choices, I pictured the three of them as white, although Vinny is half Cuban, but that's not really, or he's like quarter Cuban. No, he's half Cuban. But that's not really discussed in the first book.
Make it canon, say it definitively.
What's that?
I said make it canon, say it definitively.
It is from book 2 on. I just didn't really touch on it in book 1. But I picture them all as sort of like, white brunette dudes. But it's interesting to see how other people perceived how they should be, and how well those perceptions work.
Yeah, well, that's my favorite thing, because we talked about this in that writing video that we did, where it's just like, it's like, if you don't like describe that, it's a strength in some ways, because if you can make the strength of your storytelling good enough that you don't have to describe what these dudes or these people look like, you can let the reader fill that space in, and what the reader fills in is just as valid, because you've not prescribed anything to it. So it's, in the times where I've experienced it, and it's something that I'm doing with what I'm writing right now, is like, if done well, it adds strength to the story, because the reader can put themselves into the story. Which the thing that I'm writing right now, and I'll talk about this more in depth later, but
we gotta just have a fucking writing episode, because Cole's been working on some stuff too.
Yeah, we really do.
I wrote a like 2 or 3 page like short story to get out of a depression funk, but that's not as much as I've done.
You know what? You still did it, and you saw the seeds for a possible larger project.
Maybe,
and that's all that matters.
Yeah. But basically, my idea for what I'm writing initially was like, okay, I'm going to turn this into a podcast, and then the more that I started thinking about it, the less I liked that idea. So I'm turning it into a more traditional book, but because I was pacing it to be like, okay, these are going to be like 30-minute long chapters, basically episodes. If it turns into a normal book, you basically have like I'm going to spend 40 minutes reading one chapter, and it just feels bad. So I was talking
getting the fucking Atlas Shrugged levels at that point.
Yeah, I was just like, fucking God. So I was talking to Zach about that the other day, and then I chunked it up, and I went from if you ever want to feel good about progress, write long ass chapters and then chop them up. You'll go from 6 to 25 real fast, and that's a really good feeling.
Dude, I did that with Occupant, and it went from like 25 chapters to like 70.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fucking wild. Yeah. But I think the way that I've paced it out now, it'll probably wind up being, because if this is like 70 chapters probably.
And that's the beauty of it, Sam, is if it gets super, super, super long, you just release it as a part 1 and a part 2.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And if you go the self-publishing route, you can choose when you want to release them bitches.
Hell yeah. Well, because we'll go more in depth. I think we should definitely do a writing episode, but I've planned this as a series. So,
I'm gonna have to get myself a black turtleneck for that episode.
Hell yeah.
I've got one you can borrow. I've got a couple in there.
Cole, you've seen how much larger I am than you in person. I'm not going to fit into one of those turtlenecks. I'd be like,
I'm shorter and wider.
Are you wearing a corset? No, Cole, just let me borrow a shirt.
Yeah.
My insides are moving.
Oh my God. So I know I'm moving again.
Oh really?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's a good move. It's a positive move. But my God, I haven't even been here a year yet.
When did you? I forget, because it was what, like.
It was October. So I moved in my first day in this apartment was October 2nd, 2020. And we move into the new apartment on September 18th, 2021.
Nice.
So I haven't even we're moving into the new place earlier, so the lease is still going to be up here October 2nd, 2021, but basically we're going to be out completely by
you'll be stopping by on October 2nd to drop off the key. That's about it.
Basically, that's basically all it's going to be. And it's just like I would like to not have to do that for a while.
Yeah. I've got one last like big push to get the rest of my stuff out of like my old place and into like in here, like hopefully in the next month whenever we record again, I won't be using this backdrop. I'll have
you'll be in the office.
Yeah.
That we've seen in person.
That you slept in. Yeah.
That
was so funny. So we were getting ready for bed, and I laid down.
Did you take the cushion off the love seat?
Yep.
So Sam is laying there on his phone, and I'm like, I don't want to lay just on the ground. My back's gonna be all fucked up. So I get up, and without a word, I walk out. I look, I see it's not like stitched in, so I just fucking peel it up. And I was like, good night. I walked into the office.
I'm so sorry, dude.
No, but I'll be. I was comfy as shit. Although I don't know why the fuck I was doing it, because I went to sleep in like the middle of the floor, and I noticed that as the night progressed, I was inching closer and closer to the wall where the windows are, until eventually I had my head up against the boxes you had against the wall.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's just to think it's like when Sam and I were in the cabin and he was up before me and he was like, yeah, this guy was definitely in the military because of how I was sleeping or something.
Oh my God, he was like, because you had like the blankets completely tucked around you and you were laying flat on your back, and I was just like, this dude has slept in you can tell this dude slept in some wild situations.
What's funny is the reason that I do that is because when we would be in the field, basically, they'd be fucking, set down your patrol base and all that. So all I would do is I would loosen up my boots, basically loosen up all my clothing, so it would be able, but I'd still wear my vest, and I would just have my sleeping bag like up to my waist because then I'd have my vest and all that on top, and that's how I would sleep. It's just on my back, my rifle next to me.
Keep your rifle by
your side. Oh, really quick. So, what do you have to say about that, DJ?
Worst fucking guest ever.
I just we haven't mentioned the bit in a while, so I needed to bring that back.
For our audio listeners, the bear is still here.
Yes, the bear is still here. So speaking of that office room, something. Oh, my camera's shaking. So speaking of that office room, and I only did this because he brought it up before. So I was we were visiting Cole, and Cole knows about this. I did tell him, and he thought it was funny. So that's why I feel comfortable telling this story. I was in the office, and I was just like, I had like a bag in there, and I was just like keeping my dirty clothes there until Zach showed up. And then I walked into the room one night before Zach showed up, and Cole had a bunch of boxes because they were moving in, and he was moving stuff in. And there was just this book sitting on top of the box, and I was like, "What is this wild-looking book?" And I picked it up, and it was not a book; it was a container. And I was like, "Huh?" So I opened it up, and what do I see is Cole's passport. And I was like, "I need to look at this picture." And I turned it up, and it's just like, it's the funniest fucking like you can't use that to leave the country, Cole.
No.
You have to fix that.
I for sure.
Cole and I both have that issue because you guys have seen my picture too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was about what? That was 7 years pre-beard.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a beard in mine either. Like, I just had my like handlebar mustache. I had like a full undercut like this, like all my hair like shaved on the sides.
Yeah, it looks like you had a fucking mushroom on your head.
Yeah, basically. It was just all my hair just like swooped back.
I don't know why the fuck this is where my brain went to, Sam, but for some reason when you were telling that story, you were like, I picked up a book and it was the Necronomicon.
Believe it or not,
Cole the Necromancer.
Cole's an actual warlock.
My passport looks like I do, basically like I do now, because I had to get it. I had to get a new one like 2.5-3 years ago to go to Canada. But I didn't have a passport for a long time. So the passport I had before that was, one, expired, and two,
when you were like a little kid.
Yeah, I was like 11, and so yeah, it was not the best. So.
Yeah, I need to get that one. I need to get that one renewed. I don't.
Yeah, mine expires next year.
I mean, I still have like a couple years on like my license, but that would be the only thing that would like save me like flying international. I was like, no, I swear it's me. Look.
You know what I have? Yeah. You know what I have? I mean, it expires next year, but I have a red passport.
A red passport?
Yeah, it was my official passport for my deployment to Africa.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
It expires next year, though. Yeah, there's three. There's three that I know. There's your blue passport, which everyone gets or can get.
Standard.
There's your red passport, which is like official business. And then there's the black passport, which is a diplomatic passport.
Interesting.
How do we get those?
You have to work for the government.
Damn it!
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
That makes fucking three of us. Contracting is different.
Yeah,
sure.
Contracting is different.
My badge is green.
My badge is green. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You don't even fucking know.
I'm not a nerd. I'm just kind of. I just work for him.
God. Oh my god. Anyway, on that note, thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of the Versus Vidcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Djungelskog.
You're welcome. He was really the one who carried the conversation this week.
I mean, fuck it. We were a ship without a sail until Djungelskog showed
thank God for
I
Djungelskog.
know. So yeah, so
Thank Cog for
that's that on
Djungelskog.
that. Thank Cog for Djungelskog. So you know, we have things that we want you to do. DJ, why don't you tell them about all the good YouTube?
Hit the subscribe button. Ring that bell. Give this video a like to let us know we're doing a good job.
I'm half expecting that thing to fucking move.
he might.
Just a
He
twitch.
just might.
Does like a that would be so fucked up if you ended this with like a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare.
It would be kind of fucked up, wouldn't it?
Maybe it'll
Goodbye.
happen, maybe it won't.
Who knows? Anyway, and thank you so much. And again, you know, like DJ said, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to know when new videos come out. And as always, thank you. And I want you to remember, have a great life.
Oh shit! Did
Thank you very
all
much.
three of us get it at once?
I think so.
I don't
It
know.
looked like it on my
Maybe.
end.
We'll see. We'll see in post. Bye. Look at this guy. Isn't that the cutest little guy? It's fucking.